Hey, namaskar everyone. This is Shourav and I'm back with the second part of a SvelteKit. We were actually making a web app of Gita. So we are uh, we are actually continuing our previous series from our previous video. So without talking too much, let's get us started. So I have started my SvelteKit project here, and it's my bad. Let's first of all let's run it, npm run dev, and let's open it up here. Let's see how far we was there. So I have added two new links here, which are navigating to login and sign up. I guess we did this at our last video. So in this video, let's open up our chapters, where you can see we're having this. This is okay, but you can see that we're actually getting a little bit of time here. So we can fix it by using promises. Okay, so let's search for SvelteKit and open that docs. I guess you need a promises, streaming with promises. So this is it. We need make sure that what happens at the end, otherwise we can't start loading comments until we have loaded the post. So yeah, okay. So first of all, we need it to do this. Let's fix this issue that I guess you guys already understand what's the issue is. See, they're so sleek, but when we are navigating to the chapters page, it's actually taking a little bit of time. Why it's taking time? Because they are fetching this information from a other server. That's why the latency is being introduced in between the request. Okay, so that's why it is actually taking a little bit of time, which you need to eliminate. How? By using streaming with promises feature. Okay, so so what we can do, we can actually open up the chapters and the layout servers, and here instead using the await, we can simply remove this await, and we can use it with promise. We can use this promise. Okay, and now these chapters are going to be here. Now let's go in the svelte layout.svelte, where it's actually not using this. So what we can do, let's come here. For now, let's comment it out so that it's not interrupt it's so that it actually avoid the errors. Now let's go for the await catch, await then. I guess this is what I was looking for, promise. So the promise is data.gita chapters, and this is the value that we are getting. So I'm gonna go for the Gita chapters now here. Okay, or list of chapters, chapter list. So in magically it is either running the function, and actually, to be honest, the function we were using here, and making the await to get the data, instead of that we are throwing this entire function to the front end, so that it can handle that function with the await, and the chapter list can be passed on to the then block. Okay, that's the ideology of this thing, and where we need to just copy this, paste it here, run it here. We don't need this data. Instead, we just want to use this here. So this is basically the same thing. See, it's now faster, but taking a bit thing here. So to avoid this, we are gonna introduce a pending thing. So it's going to be a loading kind of a thing. Okay, let's go and use a div. You can design a loader or something like that. Padding y4 and padding x3, and I'm gonna go for padding, loading the chapters, loading the chapters, loading the chapters. And if we come here, you can see that it's almost instant here, instant here. But if you go here, you can see a little bit of loading is happening here, so it's not delaying us to navigate to the chapter space. That's what I was looking for. We don't need this ID. Now you can see they are quite okay. Okay, so now let's we were actually having this that 1 or 2, this was reflecting here, but instead this manual approach, we can actually use this click and use the power of the nested routing here. Okay, so how we can do that? Just simply introduce here the route that we were inside of. This is chapters, and then what we are showing this thing, right? Chapter ID. So how we can do that? We need to use it dynamically. So let's remove this and use this quotation, and we have this chapter details is being passed here. Chapter details is being passed here, and now let's see that this item has the ID, chapter ID, chapter number. Okay, I guess just chapter number. Fine, it's the chapter number. So if we just use this Shankhi Yoga, so it's gonna reflect it here. So it is chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. See, it's fine. Let's go inside it, and in the base.svelte we have this chapter number. Let's remove this chapter number. I think it's okay. Chapter 5. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna use it as 4XL. 4XL, it's a little bit bigger. Fine. And it should be bolder. Font extra bold. Fine, it's okay. Now let's make some hover effects on this links chapters as we are clicking them. So they're inside the layout of chapters, and let's add it that on hover, let's change the background to black, BG black, and on hover let's change the text color to white. So see, it's quite good now. Let's go for Moksha Shanesh Yog. Here's the 18th number. That's totally fine. Okay, now we can also add the verses here, right? So to see the verses, we can navigate to the base verse. So we don't need this verse here, just delete it. We want to show it inside the chapters again. So under the chapter ID, you can see it, and chapter ID, and we need to create another route nested inside here that is being called the verse. Okay, Now this verse will this verse will have a base.svelte of itself. So now if we come here and let's make it ison I am the verse, okay, and if we paste here that verse, then it should return that I'm the verse. Fine. And the chapter layout will contain this chapter ID layout. This chapter ID layout will contain all the verses. Fine. So let's use it. Div the slot is going to be top of it. Class add full with full, and padding y can be 6, padding x can be 3, and there need to be a div again. This div will contain other things, so the verses actually. Where we're working, yes, yeah, okay. I thought I was working in the verse. It's quite confusing sometimes because of the same kind of structure name, structural file name. Okay, so they're actually reserved name. We don't have much to do with them. Okay, so even Next.js is also following this kind of naming conventions, but I still love the way Remix.js handling the routes. Okay, so in future I guess I will also come up with the Remix.js and Next.js too. So let's come here and padding y5 again, padding x3, and let's make a ul or div and class flex, and a simple thing that need to be each. Okay, so all the verses, right? So to get that, let us go for Gita API again. Here we have the rapidapi.com. So let's go for the get all the verses from a particular chapter. Why it's happening like this? Is there any problem? I guess yes, we are having some problems, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so get all the verses. Chapter 1. Okay, so we need to copy this and paste it here, so it's inside this chapter ID, and it has its own base.server, right? But I'm not interested in this because we need the chapter details in a layout.svelte. So what we need is layout.server.ts, and let's go for load or git load for base server load, layout server load, because we are using it in layouts. Okay, import the type and use fetch. Now what? Now we need the same thing to work here, like fetch, and then we need a Gita API base URL. This need to be here, and then the rest of the it's not like that. The rest of the thing is going to be there because this Gita API is the variable dynamic variable, and it has a method of get and headers. I think we are repeating the headers, so let's make a common thing here. In library settings dot this thing, and come here, const API header Gita, and we are actually using this, so it need to be object. So Gita API headers, and let's export it and use it in our layout server.ts of chapter ID in this. So how we can do it? Gita API headers. That's okay. I guess in settings here. Okay, it's okay. API key. Fine. So let's come here. It is also going to give us a few things. So let's go for the. Oh, my bad. Let's use dot, then res dot res.json, convert it into JSON. Const await. Let's see how much time it actually takes. It might take a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Process list, and yes, it also required the chapter ID as well. Params. So the chapter params dot chapter ID, it is required. So the chapter ID need to be specified here. Fine. So let's return it from here, and it's the versus list. And we need to see the sample response. The sample response is here. Let's copy it and open up our quick type IO. I'm not doing it by myself because it's not a TypeScript course. Oh, bad. Just paste it. After that, name it as what? Versus list of verse. Okay, list of verse. So we need to use it as verse. Copy this, paste in our types, and versus type or verse type dot ts. Paste it here. Okay, so let's remove it, and it's going to be a list first. Fine. Close it, come here and enter a script. As we are using TypeScript, let's specify our language as TS, and let's use an export data to get that data which is coming from here, which is in our case the verses list. Now let's come here and show them with UL and is block, just to see if it is working or not. So data dot versus list, and versus here is 1. It's going to be the first dot text, I guess. Let's see how it's working. So yeah, it's a lot. If we come here, is that working? Yes, there is some problem happening here. Okay, let's see what actually went wrong. I guess the API is doing something really bad here. No? They're okay? And what's happening here? That's okay. Chapters are loading. These are not working actually. Yeah, it worked, but the problem is it is taking a lot of time, I guess, for that reason. Yes, because of this. So we cannot await it from here, so we need to use the same thing as promise, return the promise from here, and now let's go and return it here, that await and then block, and here data dot versus list and versus list, and then just bind it with the new then block, and I guess now it should work. Where let's go for a padding of loading all verses. Now let's go here. You can see it's now loading and not waiting for others, because I guess it's too much. It's too much here. See, it's loading It's the chapter number 7, but I guess they are not server-side rendered. To see this, let's have a look. Copy this, and I want it. Let's copy this and open it up here in this Chrome and remove it. I just want to see it with more details. Fine, so let's go for the chapters. What is happening, man? Is that okay? I guess the API is getting a little bit weird. The development server is okay. It's going with it. Going with that. About is why about is getting this thing. What is that about? And this is that okay? I don't think so. Let's open up in our Safari. Yeah, it's working. It's working quite good. What is happening here? Is that a caching problem? Let's see if it's a caching problem or not. Yes, it was a caching problem. Okay, so it's just a caching problem. Okay, so let's use it there, the incognito, and remove it from here and use it in the incognito. We need to see if they're actually server-side rendered or not. So for example, the Shankar Yoga, this should be here. If not, then it's not using it as server-side render. Okay. It is actually taking a little bit of time. Don't know why. So let's open it up again. Fine. So I think it's actually having some problem. How to fix it? Fine, it's not working here. It's not working in the page. Page is working in the source. Okay, so I think I have some problem with the Safari. So let's come here and use it here. The inspect element. Go to the source, and here we need to find it. So the problem is it's on matching found, but it's not server-side rendered. We need to make it server-side rendered. How? It need to be here. So let's go for a SvelteKit. I guess my internet is a little bit slower, so data request maybe. That thing was data request. Let's go. Is data request. This data request is, if it is true, then it should use this, or a bit of Gita request chapter res. I guess that was the code. I'm not sure. Need to set. Fine. Now I need to open it up, and in the source, let's take this. It's not there. I guess I need to find it. What are the contents? There is script, obviously not. Yeah, they are here. But why they are not findable here? Okay, I can see it in the script and in the actual code HTML format, which is server-side rendering. So this is how you use it as server-side rendering. So for the verses, we're gonna do it the same. Is data request, then just come here, is data request is this, and then verse list or a wet verse list. The same thing is going to be happen for it too. Let's see. It's loading now. Let it load first, then we'll see. It's actually taking a little bit time. Now let's search for it. Copy this and open up your inspect element. In the source, I guess you need to find it. It's not here. Fine, it's not here. Why? Sources. Let's go and find out inside the HTML. Well, we don't have it. The data is there. Let's see if a reload can get it or not. So still it's not getting them. Okay, it got it. It got it, but the problem is it's not finding it like we expect, right? Now let's open up it again in the sources. Let's find it out if we can see it inside our HTML file or not. They are here, and let's remove it again. Came here, it's loaded chunky yoga, so it contains more than, I guess, 90 verses. That's why it is taking a little bit of time. Let's wait and see how it's working. We're not going to remove the cursor from here. It may take a little bit of time, but we need to wait it. And see, I'm also struggling while making this simple project, SvelteKit. Now let's open up inspect element and go to the sources. Let's see if it is server rendered or not. Okay, yes, it's server rendered. Fine, it's actually server rendered. 0.47. That's good. Is that but guess we're using 1.1, which is not the actual thing. We need to see our types, verse type. There's verses are the chapters, ID, name, the chapter number. Okay, so let's go for rapid IP or simply search for Git API. I don't have that much time. Give the API and go for get all the verses from a particular thing. It's actually using the 1, 2 or something like that. We need to debug it. How? We need to debug it in this server where we are using the chapter ID and the server.layout, which is here for a reason. This need to be also come here. Chapter ID, right? Let's console.log params.chapter ID 2. We're getting 2, right? Two, 1. It's 1 on point on. It should be 2 now. Chapter 2 is still, yeah, it's okay now. Let's see the Karma Yoga also. So now we need a way to convert them into a piece of what? A row, right? We don't need this much things. We just need the verses side here. How we can do it? Just come here and see the particular verse. First of all, we need to see how it actually looks like it. So 1, 2, something like this, right? So these verses have some ID kind of a thing. Let's see. If it has, then it's going to be a like ID. Let's see what is the ID, how ID looks like here. No, ID is third thing. So chapter number, verses, translation, verse number. Yeah, verse number. Need a verse number. Sorry, excuse me. So you got the first number. So it's 1, 2, 3. How many? It's 43, right? In chapter 3, 43 are there. Now okay, I also need to see how many are here. Verse list dot length. Let's see the length. Why? Well, length is not a function. Okay, 43 actually. Yeah, that's okay. Now let's return a number 43. So let's go for ChatGPT. How to generate a list with list with 43 lengths without putting elements into it in JavaScript. See, I don't want you to well, sorry, right? So this will create an array with slots. If you want to fill this, and okay, okay, so I'm gonna go for this, and let's come here and all the verses, right? They're here. What to do? Yeah, it is kind of same thing. We don't need to list it like this. Simply come here and and we can modify it right inside this. We don't need that text. However, the text is in translations. How the translation looks like. It has object too, commentary by ID, description, text, verse number. What the heck is this? Because I was looking for the text in description. Translations as description. So we need to go for the translation, where we are now. We are inside this translations. Okay, so it just need to be this, and third name I don't need this. I need a description, which is in English, I guess. Okay. Let's make padding y 3. How it's using just only 3.3. Oh, just because description I guess I don't need description. Need a translations. and a description. Oh, I got it. Three. Let's go for the 3. The Adi Shankaracharya translation. Fine, so it's quite hard, I guess. So now let's come here. It's P and A is for, this is going to be the verse of text. And here it need to it will contain, I guess, so stop P, simple P, that will have this the verse dot chapter, I guess, verse number. Yeah. Okay. Fine. It's nice. That's quite cool. Let's go for the 1. Now I wanted like having a simple slot there. This layout, it has this grid, so you'll have height of 96 and overflow hidden. Well, it's quite hard. I think we need to go for a little bit bigger, for 50%, 70. This thing is going to be really good. Okay, now let's go for style, height of how we are doing this. Style, not comma. Okay. Height is 400 pixels. So I guess 400 is not enough, so let's go for the 800, which is more. So I guess 700 is good. Fine. Now we need a way to scroll things, right? To do that, let's come here and can use it with overflow y is scrollable. No? Okay. Flow hidden, this thing, that thing. Scroll. Scrolling like this. I don't. Flow hidden, and use this height of full, and overflow y is scrollable, I guess. Still not working. Oops. Y. Still not working. Height here, and let's see, still not working. Height full, still not working. Fine, so let's use it, cut it, and put it here. Put it at 700 pixels. Okay, and the same thing need to be implemented here. And for the page, sorry, height full, and overflow y scrollable. The same thing need to be implemented in the svelte layout svelte of chapter ID. The slot is there. Height full. Yeah, that's amazing now, right? Okay, that's perfect. Now we need to what's that? There are some errors, obviously. Now let's design it. Okay, here class height of 15 width 14, I guess, and yellow 700, rounded full, flex, items center, justify center. text white, and yeah, that is it. And padding from every side is 2. Padding is not required. Where let's come here in this verse text where padding y is 2 and text is small. Okay. Let's come here. Each key block. Fine. So let's cut it. Paste it here. I index. And I guess I was doing a little bit of things. Now let's remove this, which should be our verse. And yes, where is this block? Yeah, here. And this should be the verse instead of item. Fine, so it should work now. Yeah, it is working. And the first number, and this is the index, I guess. So let's go for the index 2. Well, so the index is not here, so let's go for this 0th one. No, it's the translation of someone, right? We don't need to alter it. But the problem is the translations. It is here. Come on, man. Let's have a look. Okay, now let's come here and let's see the author name. Well, so that is the problem. Okay, I got it. That is the problem. It has no fixed authors, right? It has no fixed authors. So, okay. Fine, so let's go for description. This is 0 to 1. Yeah. So, and this author has no did some trivial mistake. Here he did everything in Hindi. So what are the languages here? English, 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 Hindi, Hindi. Okay, the API is not consistent, okay? The API is not that much consistent. So we could handle it at the individual verse level, but here let's use it 3. Okay, we don't have much option for this. Or we could also do the description where, right? Okay. Well, we'll see it later. So let's design it first. Now let's give it a verse number, then text yellow 700, and the font italic font, fine, that's okay. And text not small, the text should be MD. Text base, okay, text base. And the translation, it should be that, it should call that translation. It should be the translation, and this is it. Translation, and the entire part need to be inside a box. Okay, inside a box where you're gonna class padding y2, padding x2, border yellow 700, and we can actually use something like rounded as well. Let's see. Yeah, well, so we need another div here. This div is going to be class flex column, and space y3. Okay, that's perfectly good. Now we did a little more, and I guess this video is enough for today. I am feeling a little bit off, and I'm actually suffering with the headache also. So we can continue this series to the next level, where we are going to make this thing happen in a different level, I guess. If we click on it, it will make it as clickable. Let's make it now a ref, and it will be chapters. Then insert the chapter ID. Where is this? Chapter ID. The ID will be here from our chapter ID, right? So chapter ID is actually the chapter. So what's that? No. This is not what I was looking for, because it will make the entire thing a clickable link, while we need the individual thing, right? This ref, where this need to be chapters dot the chapter ID first dot chapter number, and then we need verse. Okay, so if you click it, the verse will be and the verse, and the verse is where we have this and the verse, and the slot is down there. Well, the slot will have its own layout. Layout dot svelte, and where it's going to be a slot, and this slot will go to this app level, right? So we don't want to, oops, my bad. Yeah, so we don't need this chapter ID layout, so let's rename it and add a @ of app. So and the verse is happening here, but app level is not so required. We need the chapter, I guess. Chapters, and it's not advisable. So what you can do, you can create another thing called chapter and move these entire chapters inside this chapter. Yes. What is this? It's just a bullshit, nothing else. So just use this as chapter, and now if you run this, it's loading. All the verses are here. If you click it, oops, it's going to the chapters. Oh, I got it. My bad. I got it. So let's go here in the chapter ID. We have this verse. Let's remove it for now. remove it for now and run it. It's completely okay. Now let's remove it, and we need to create a level up chapter number, let's say, and add this entire thing here. Yes. Well, the chapter ID is oh, my bad. I guess I messed it up. Verse inside the chapter ID, and this chapter number. I think it's the API headers versus list. It's just got there. We need to move it back here, the page 2, and I think we are good to go. Chapter details, chapter list, and chapter details. So we can actually remove this number. See, it's a little bit of confusing for now. Not little bit, it's completely confusing. So it has layout, page, and these things. So the chapters are here. Okay. The params, I guess they are missing. Quick load. Let's import it from types. The verse. Yes, this is okay. It's time for to remove it. Import the types. Here also we are facing some problems. Let's import it from the appropriate place and save it. Now still it has where layout.svelte. Let data right. Chapter ID. Layout.svelte. Oh my bad. It is actually a disaster, to be honest. Let's go. Now it's loading. Fine. So we want to break that chapter ID, right? Fine, we'll see it later how to remove it. Here you can see that I'm the verse, which is okay, but we need to remove this. So it is actually laying here in the slot. This is okay. So the chapter ID, this is the problem, where all the layouts, these are actually working. If you reload it, you will understand what I am saying. So now, should I do it now or keep it for the next video? I'm thinking about it. The chapter ID, we need to break this layout, right? So we need a chapter group. In this chapter group, I can move this. Why these are making like this kind of shit things? I don't know. Are they the same thing? No. Okay, let's delete it. It should work again. Or else I will fix it again. Let's see what happened here. Remove it, completely remove it, fix it, import from types, fix it, import, fix it, import, fix it from import. Fine. Now where we have another things, let's remove them all. Yes, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. So it's okay. I'm the verse, completely working fine. Now what? It just broken. Just need to remove it. Chapter ID. Layout server. Yeah, need to delete it. As we already have it. Let's see now what's the problem. Again, the same problem is happening. Let's remove it, import it, import it, import it. Say TypeScript is quite mad. It took a lot of time. Let's see now. Again, there is nothing. So congratulations, we have messed it up. Not defined. Where it's not defined. Where it's not defined. Chapter group. Why it's not removing from here? Yes, it's okay now. Okay. Everything is good. Let's rename it and add a chapter group. To implement this thing, just remove everything and rerun the app. Okay, so why it helps us to rerun this app? I know it's too long time. It's taking really long time, right? So let's see. If it is working or not. I guess it's not showing, right? Why? Is the internet very slow now? It's a little bit slow for now. If you run this on the version, this thing is now removed, which I was looking for. Okay, now it's good. You can see it's working quite well, and sorry for my background noises. And yes, it is working quite good now. So thank you for this video, watching this video. If you like this video, please hit share, like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment sections. So thank you, goodbye, good night, namaskar.